Even the basics of stripper clothes can be a pain in the butt, knee, or ankle. When I first decided to become a stripper, I went out and bought the highest pair of stiletto heels I could find. I quickly became overwhelmed because it felt like the next step was going to be the last my ankles could take. How was I going to be able to dance in these? But once I began to actually dance, I started to realize that my coworkers were wearing a very different kind of shoe than I was, mostly from the company Pleasers. What all these shoes had in common was a very thick platform at the toe and very sturdy heels, which allowed for more maneuverability. It also allowed for the shoes to be much taller without you having to stand on your tiptoes. I also began to realize that the walking that I did in the club was on very sturdy, level ground, much different from the carpet in my house or the hill that I made myself climb every day in my stilettos to go get my mail. In fact, in my club, we were never expected to walk up more than 2 stairs without someone holding our hand or a handrail. Either way, it's a good idea for your heels to be relatively short, compared to the heels of your more seasoned coworkers. Some clubs have rules that your heels have to be at least 3 inches high, and that's a good place to start. Pleasers and any other kind of shoe break if you wear them night after night. So you'll be working your way up to the shoes your coworkers are wearing in no time, whether they be 7 or 10 inches, if you choose to do so. Believe it or not, before long you'll be as comfortable in your shoes as you are in your bare feet, at least until the night's over. There are a few ways to make stripper heels as comfortable as possible and easier to walk in. First, I would suggest buying shoes with straps to start off with. Some girls feel comfortable in slide-ons, which hug the balls of your feet, but don't have any back or straps. It's a look, and maybe it's the look for you eventually, but I've seen girls, even ones who've been wearing slide-ons for years, get on the pole, try to do a trick, and kick their shoe off, right into somebody's face at the tip rail or onto a table nearby. I can't even imagine what a smooth comeback from that would look like. Maybe, "Oh, my shoe picked you. Guess that means we're getting a dance together." Or, "Hey, my shoe seems to have realized you're not tipping very well." Straps or not, it's a good idea to customize your shoe. You can do this by heating it up with a hairdryer, waiting until it's not too hot, and then putting your foot in, so that it molds to your foot. I generally bought my shoes a half size too small and then did this, but I'm not going to recommend it because each shoe is different. Your shoes will wear out, which is something to budget for, and also something to keep in mind when you see those glitter heels that are $110. Another thing to consider with glitterized or bejeweled pleasers is that though they may be eye-catching at first, those spikes, gems, glitter, sequins, stones, whatever, start to come off pretty quickly. The best shoes in my opinion are ones that go with as many outfits as possible, aren't easily ruined, stay on no matter what you do in them, and instead of drawing attention to themselves, draw attention to your legs and make them look longer. Ideally, they also give you as much freedom of movement as possible. I've heard a lot of customers complain that almost every dancer does the same moves on stage, and I think that the stilettos are one of the culprits. There's only so many moves you can make when you're in shoes that are too high for your comfort level. So unless you're very short and trying to compensate for that, which is valid, stick to shoes that you can dance in and not ones that have you clinging to the pole the whole time. Some girls buy strapless shoes and then attach their own straps for extra comfort and customization. Pleasers sells these too. I swear I'm not plugging for them. The ones I could find with a quick Google search are clear and pretty inexpensive, so if you break your straps a lot, this is probably a good option for you. I think you can only wear these with shoes that don't already have straps, unless you want to cut your straps off for some reason. If you only have one pair of shoes and your straps break in the middle of your work hours, the best workaround I can think of is to wrap an extra garter around to hold them on. This isn't the most attractive option, but it'll get you through the night. Importantly, use a garter that you don't care a whole lot about. It will pick up gum from the stage if you do any floor work and probably never look the same. Moving from shoes to thongs, this is another necessary bit of stripper gear that comes in many varieties and can cause you lots of problems. At most topless bars, there are strict rules about what a thong has to cover. The rule that I'm used to, how do I say this without YouTube sending assassins to my house? The fabric has to cover from thigh to thigh and has to be wide enough in the back to cover that hole too. Like with heels, whatever you pick up at Walmart is probably not going to do the trick. Some clubs have a rule that your thong has to be an inch wide at the back. Other clubs have rules that you have to layer your thongs. Here's something I learned from a veteran dancer when I was just a spring chicken. If you wear gold or flesh-colored thongs on stage, it can trick men into thinking that they're getting the full nude experience, or at least tempt them up to the stage, usually with money. Check if this is allowed at your club, although I've never heard of a place where it wasn't. There are many different kinds of thongs. Y-backs, T-backs, the ones you wear over your shoulders like Borat. They come with thin straps, which are more attractive because they cover less, and thick straps, which are a lot more secure and a lot more comfortable. My favorite thongs are thick straps with glitter on them. I think they're pretty. Most thongs for strippers are one size fits all, which can be a problem if you wear the thin strap kind because they slide around a lot and may show more than you're supposed to. One solution to this is to tie knots on each side over your hips to make them tight and make sure that they fit the way that they should. If you have a lot going on between your thighs, layering thongs might be a good idea even if your club doesn't require it. This also protects you if your thong breaks. Like all of your costume pieces that you put through stage, that you put through pole dancing, and that you put through lap dances, things break, sometimes without warning. My thong broke once during a dance, which was extremely embarrassing, but I managed to grab the strap and hold it together without him noticing. I did the rest of the dance holding the end, and sat there until a friend could pass me her boy shorts that I could wear back into the dressing room to change. I'm miserly, so I took it home and sewed it back together, so securely that it didn't break again in 4 more years of dancing. The kind that I was wearing were not the kind that break the most. Those are the kind that have little plastic O-rings holding the straps to the main part of the thong. I do not recommend these. I have a pair that I got with an outfit once, and I've worn it a few times. But I couldn't find them, and I couldn't find an image of exactly what I'm talking about. So what I'm showing you is kind of what they look like, but just imagine plastic rings where the metal clasps are. I don't think I'd wear these either. I've only worn them a couple of times, and they've never broken on me, but I have seen them break on other dancers, usually right in the middle of a stage set. This is bad in as many ways as you can possibly imagine. It might be helpful for me to mention that my better thongs, shoes, and costumes all came from a website called discountstripper.com. Also, not a plug. At the time of filming, the website was down, but it's supposed to be back up soon. There are other websites you can go to. Yandy makes pretty good costumes, although I wouldn't trust any of their thongs. Amazon, they have some regulation thongs and other outfits on there. Even eBay has some things. And there's a site called upscalestripper.com, but they don't have a lot of the basics. They do have some pretty exciting outfits though. You can also buy outfits from your local sex shop or lingerie store, but be very careful that whatever you buy conforms with what you're allowed to have in your state. These places are also much more expensive, and a lot of times, for whatever reason, they're not stripper friendly. That's about all the thoughts I have about stripper underwear and stripper shoes. If you're a dancer and have advice on this topic, please leave a comment below. If I get enough comments, I'll do a commenter edition. Whatever you wear to work, make sure that it fits who you want to be, whether that's all black or all neon. If you like my video, please subscribe by clicking on the little icon of me and this wig in the corner. If you want to see more beginner stripper stuff, click up here. I hope you all are having a wonderful day and make tons of money on your next shift.